All right, ebusuafo ya sign esinkunya biem na asem na da pono so ebusuafo asem we die nanamba namwa wetimi akeka na dwen ewo United Show Business no so pa nanamba namwa enra okopiem ewo United Show Business program UTV for omoye every Saturday yenim how this particular program powerful amamfo bebre etie na omoye discussion about the Asante Himes.ye na ekoso ewo menhia no this program was a successful one because Oshenipa Doma ho how popular it dominated the TV screen, social media, I mean say Facebook, TikTok, wherever be Asante Hima.ye it dominated bibia omo ye mane ye fe be ye kra be hwe ache say obi okọ ho bia even one ko hokwa na wo TV echi na wo hwe ana wo nam online kra na at least ubehu one or two things bia ebe yo fe ama wa say a program de ma ya ma na ye fe pa e dominate papa ma obia e kan ho asem na United Show Business for tonight no omo ye discussion about you know how successful was it ekoye and I say ankoye inti pandit for ho nyina obia e kire na dwen na eho na aba na moa eduru no so na okasa no watoto ja na aba na moa tutuja de ama omo criticizing the Otumfuo say tutu kotoko hene say ono kra no onye powerful sa what you say amanfo bi timi ba online mpanyimfo bi timi ba online no mo keka so Otumfuo onye powerful sa na sansensem no mo keka nyina na aba na moa wa responding to sankofo ni nyina na me the video ni eba ma wonso wetie bi nsema na aba na moa ekeka kire sankofo ni nyina about Otumfuo or say to how powerful he is no me the full story na the eba mpacho on subscribe ya bomodin so be subscribe and what turn on the notification no ye wo Facebook ye wo TikTok ye wo Twitter ye wo Instagram ye wo baby YouTube na won so mpacho na subscribe e the amine na we hu when you all the daily updates are Ghana no. Now back to the story. So the na make no nana aba na mo eno eduru no so na ono so all submitting the opinion the submission ni mo no and I just say o catch o can send you say monta mon person mo beja atum so Otumfuo say to is the most powerful king in Ghana and in Africa as a whole no. You people should go and sit down. Or say go and sit down because Otumfuo say to is him. Otumfuo say to is the most powerful king in Ghana. Na nyoma na otumi ye no all the kings in Ghana obi na obetini ISR de buja for me pese me kan sem na hye na aba na mo na yimkuti sem no na wangasa tibi nsem a e course discussion a course e wo United Showbiz e ma na aba na mo a e that particular nkomo no yimkuti.
I think the major failing for this funeral, I mean, you don't have to be an Ashanti to admire what happened there. I'm a Fanti. My mom is Eve. But you cannot take away the culture, the history, the tradition, the authority of the Ashanti kingdom. It's untouchable. It compares to none. You know, it compares to none. And you know, it's beautiful. And yenyani say adiwe this week seems. If you, and I'm not criticizing the kingdom, I'm just criticizing the media. If you watch other funerals, and I have to bring in Queen Elizabeth's funeral, right? Or share on any channel, you had royal commentators who understood the nitty-gritties of the funeral. Omukuta trumpets way, it is symbolic. This is what it means. When you watch that funeral from Westminster Abbey, it is education from the beginning to the end. What we haven't done really well in Ghana is to specialize, specialize. There should be people who have authority over things like this. It doesn't have to necessarily be an Ashanti. Historians. Now, why we failed was that we have royal historians in this country. We have people who understand the tradition. They understand what happened. So what we could have done as media houses was to rope them in, because that's what happened with Queen Elizabeth. ITV had it, BBC had it, Sky had it, CNN had it. They all had it. It was education. And yes, Obi can say, what TikTok, no, be so because the stories were too many, and at some point you didn't know which one to believe. Into going forward, and I think this wasn't the main funeral, right?
Yeah, no.
This is not the main.
Where I found some where dotty I found son. I just you for France.
You see, I didn't even know this. No, we have time to plan it properly. Said the coverage now. We're seeing multiple cameras. It's a camera might be crossing way because I'm watching TV. It was a bit talky.
You should have watched UTV, cause it was like,
seamless.
Hey. Trad was
quick one exactly. Any media house, because
it was live too, and you recorded. It was live.
There was an experienced person like Nana your boy.
Okay. Then that is excellent. Yeah. That is excellent. So going forward, the other media houses should watch and learn. You know, it's very important. Now to go back to the point Lexi made, very important points because we are not telling our stories. And I don't know how, and I know we'll be talking about National Film Dialogue. How do we compete with Hollywood, Bollywood, when we are telling the same stories as they are telling? You cannot teach anybody how to be romantic. But the Ashanti story, the dance story, the fancy, the ever story, they are authentic stories. I mean, it is shocking that till date, no one has done anything on Yasantwa. No, if the story is compelling and if it's compelling and exciting, you don't need to go and look for the money. Netflix will put the money in. They will produce it and call it a Netflix original. They will adopt it. Yet a horse also be a free America. And now baby, ababe Yasantwa movie. And now say Confranoche or the gentleman who brought cocoa, Fernando Po. Fernando Po, no, they buy. You know, somebody will come and do the story and we'll sit back and criticize the story. But I loved what happened there. And you have to give so much credit to what does it credit to the Ashanti Kingdom? Because it was what sort of find the way to reconcile tradition and modernity, because you wouldn't expect certain things to be on TV because they were sacred, but they allowed it. They allowed it because they want to tell their to show their dominance, to show how powerful they are. And to teach you crown on your Santinia. And you what time? It's nice. And also, what even made it very beautiful, and it speaks to the wisdom of His Royal Majesty the King, is the way every celebration in the kingdom unites Ghana, because people came from all walks of life, from Volta, from North, from everywhere. And so it also speaks to the unity of this country and the immense power the Ashanti King wields. And we cannot, I mean, I've seen people on social media sometimes try to say, Ashanti, and I said, sit down. Sit somewhere. He's the Ashanti King. There is not like that in Africa. He's the most powerful king in Africa, and we have to respect it and the reverence the Ashantis and this celebration gave to the royal stool, because it's not even the man. It's the stool. You know, it's it's powerful, and we need to give reverence to the man on the stool. And I think that's what panned out perfectly well. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the only time I get to hear the story of the Ashanti tribe, I say maybe Assembly say, Esina, Ubenyazi Penibi Bedan, where they say, or per se, Obeka Abakwa Sembi say, actually, but I strongly believe, say, if we can shoot movies. At one time, I meet Kofi Adomawa when you or interview Abroebia. My name is Odasoti. I say wasum Asante Ahene Beye 4. We move 4 or Marine Odasoti or your donko edu abaje ebadwe or Abrowa but Baba Besum. And Otumika will be our story. Otumika the first now we were no Nimuchi Hana no Nubiane. And I feel that she's just a walking yes. was an yetimi or tiasino. Except you bet Macacra, a bim I'm fake moon, but no wedding. Only man can you bet immediate trap movie be and and the world is ready to watch some of these things. Anna, Ayana make say sad stories be saying, I am my enjoy manning the typical Kumawood movie. I'm from the me can't see asem so me free the outside no send you bet my beast of no nation or my best scout for talent na e bit say Abraham Atabenya character be a player you been that ebe you know you be try confo anochi movie and you be try prepare the first movie you shut down and scout for nkofo bet me play character na ma yenya the true anyone say maybe you better maybe comic character be because share some movie na the woman team am a comedian but me can see asem so say me wo movie bi mu and obi akohwe bi aso akohwe asresem history na tired in echi na hwa e be free ade anim you betime twa movie na you better the typical Ashantis how the typical Ashanti is built, how they are designed, how they process the twa movie no na maybe Netflix be and I tell you say Asante Micah so mu di buy $1 million na omo employ Netflix Hollywood for no dey yen local producers ni bi fra na ye twa they will recoup the investment in no time because the world globally will be open to watch this thing on in all cinema. Ghana and Kwankwa see a premieres Asante movie and they have had so many kings come before the recent one. Our stories were why. So almost more back data starting free. Matters yes, yet your henny, yet something henny the neck of Seychelles, my Betsy. And mostly when history is passed on orally, today do baby, I had distorted. But my mia say me am so we see Muchia Wahana, my Prempel said, no dinner grow how ye. Or tiasin or can near document here and on ababeka and you say or catch me can mean to me can send my many can no me the trouble because mean to me can send my many can so me when say Asante and I've been so obey ye bibi so it should go beyond the typical ye be try in concert movies nibi and na ye say just something to appeal to the global market and that is the only way in history will be protected and the world will also take us serious.
Fantastic one, and only some of the discussions I will say for a course so enra what the United Show Business in the Musanet. And I make an own subscribe over hit subscribe button and turn on notification to get more updates. And the Greenhead family, your TikTok, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, YouTube, and also subscribe to their mind to get more updates. You see her, you sign up a P.